Okay, chicken and dumplings, the way that I like to make it, and I would say I never make it totally the same every time. Steam on the lens here. So I've already cooked the chicken. I took 6 chicken tenderloins and added poultry seasoning, different like salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and some broth. Cooked it in that, and then added the rest of a family size box of broth. Chopped up carrots and celery. I normally would do a bunch of onions, but I'm kind of done chopping onions because I did that for a French onion soup earlier, a couple days ago. And it tastes just as good. Maybe not just as good, but it's still really good. And this is where some people may be a hard no on this. I have made dumplings from scratch. I have made them from canned biscuit dough. I've made them from tortillas, but my favorite, I really like to get the buttermilk biscuits that are in the freezer aisle. And Aldi, which already has my heart, had buttermilk frozen biscuits this week. And so just as an example, because at this point I'm just adding to everything. Here's one biscuit. Okay. The way I've done these today is I've cut them into like 8 different parts. And yeah, I've got some extra celery, rosemary, I'm gonna dump it in there. And I'm adding a little lemon, and I did add some ginger powder this time, which I don't always do. So this is what I do with my dumplings. Just throw them in there after it's simmering. There's already some in there, and a lot of them dissolve and just make kind of a creamier broth, but I like some visible clumps in there because they're the best. And then that's why I always keep adding more. I just keep adding more. But here's this. And then I will show you. There's some that are already in here. And I don't know. Like there's some cooked ones right here. It's so good though. And if you're like me, you may run out of chicken broth, so I keep the bouillon cubes or like the base on hand. And I always save my Aldi jars because they have measurements on it, and I use these more than measuring cups because I never seem to have those around. But they have good measurements, so I'll drop a couple like cubes in there and fill it up and dump it in here. And so here you can see. See, we got some big old dumplings happening here. In my naive mind, I like to think that my daughters, who I have one that's a senior and one that's 12 years old, one day they may go to my cheesy little 11 viewer homesteading on the hill page and maybe watch some of these cooking videos, many of which they are in, and say, how did mom make that? Oh, okay, she never did anything totally consistent, but could, learn some recipes that were sort of passed down. Most of mine have become a redneck fusion style of everything, but I don't know, it's fun to do. So enjoy.